Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about Gachiakuta Season 1, Episode 15. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. First and foremost, we're immediately picking up where the last episode left off, the square off, or rather, the face down between Team Raiders and Team Cleaners. And Rudo's like, yo, where's Amo? And I love that it's almost like that position of like Engine being Big Brother's like, hey, don't worry about it, Rudo. Let Big Brother Engine take over. He's like, yo, I know this must have been some other harebrained Rudo kidnapping attempt, but we decided to tag along this time. And then I thought it was interesting where, Zodil is the leader of the Raiders, and he makes a point to Rudo. He's like, you were complaining about like there not being any tension from the Cleaners with everything going on, but he's like, you got it wrong. There's always, like, I forgot the exact phrasing, but it was almost like we're always on edge and we're always ready, even if we don't show it. Because immediately when stuff popped up, when the leader revealed himself, the others were already there. So, like, they might have already had an inkling. They were just waiting for him to reveal himself. But the fact is that they dropped everything on the dime of a hat, just like Rudo was ready to attack. They were too. But it's kind of showcasing, like, don't get it twisted. He was trying to make a point that that's why you're never alone, because basically like us on the ground, we're always on edge, whether it's us, whether it's the Cleaners, whether it's anybody. Everyone's ready for stuff to pop off at any moment in time, and you think because the ground is like that, it seems like we're lax, but there's an air of tension consistently in the air. It's kind of the point I think Zodo was trying to make. But in that moment, he planned this all out, and like mountain of trash piles in. He specifically makes sure to grab Rudo, and everyone else gets splintered off. And I love, and this kind of goes with Engine's very like nature, where he's he's on top of his umbrella, just flowing with the trash, and he's telling Zonka like, hey, you fight against the current too much, you'll get buried. It's like, find something to grab onto. It's kind of like, Engine's very much got the go with the flow type of mentality. So it serves him well in this moment. But yeah, pretty much everyone gets split up. God, what was it? It was Dear Santa, and was it Bro Santa? They're the only ones that are together. The other person, I'm blanking on her name, the one with kind of like the onesie on, she's by herself. So yeah, but like, and then everyone else, Rio, Engine, and Zonk are all by themselves. And in that moment, I love like Zodel's kind of like, and his old shtick is like, and there's probably a deeper level to this and layer to this that we'll probably explore later. But the fact is that Zodel's like, I'm not about waste, which is ironic considering you live in a world of waste. So, but he's like, I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting words. So he's like, yo, those people that came with you, he's like, I don't want stuff to go to waste. So sends the rest of the Raiders after they all go in manhole covers, and they like all. It's interesting too to see that the person who made the manhole Raider can like make multiples at a time. But essentially, they're all going to go take down the respective Cleaners. So let's stay with Rudo and Zodil. Like, he's like, Rudo's like, oh fine, I'll ask you the question again. Where is Amo? And I love the boss being like, Amo. He's like, is that really what your rage is all about? Because he was like, I came here expecting we could share in the rage. He's like, hey, let's bring the spear crashing down. And it's like, and in that moment, they almost have like this vision together. And he's like, you saw that? He's like, I've never been to the spear. So like, for him, it's almost like, that's not my vision, that's you. I don't know if that's something with the series that connects them, that if Amo still had her boots, would she see that vision as well? Or is this something, because I'm wondering if this also connects with like Zodil and the whole like TV thing that he does, like with the static, and there's something there. I don't know if this correlates. Like, and we have no idea what Zonka's vital instrument actually is. And I mean, it seems like it's the thing on his back, but that's unclear. It's the symbol on his back, but I don't know if that thing itself is the vital instrument. But I also like what his powers as a giver are. But like, Rudo doesn't know how to really properly deal with him. Because it's interesting, because he's like, right, your rage is about Amo, but it's like, and I even love that he even says like quotes around Amo, because that isn't her real name. Because that was, and I wonder, does he actually know? Because it's not, well, I mean, Zodil, does he know? Because at least I don't think, because I'm trying to remember, because like, the guy who took her probably named her maybe, but I'm like, I don't remember in episode 13 whether or not, because I try not to think about that episode too much, I'm trying to remember if her mom ever referred to her by her name. I don't think she did. So like, and like I said, when you look at the subtitles, Amma was in quotes. So I'm like, oh, that must mean like that's not her real name. And does he know that? Does he know that I'm wondering, does he have any correlation or connection to the angels in any shape or form? But going back to what I was saying, Rudo is, because he was trying to make Rudo see like, why are you with the cleaners? He's like, they're going to help me get back to the spirit. He's like, that's not what they're going to do. He's like, sure, they're going to like tell you that, but like their duty is their duties, and they'll help you in the sense that if it overlaps with their duties, but that's about it. Like you're kind of riding with them, but it's like, and even kind of bringing up the question of, are you not satisfied with what you have? Where it's just kind of like, oh, like you're with this crew and everything, and you kind of have a family in a sense for the first time, but it's almost like your need for destruction, your need for revenge burns so bright and burns so hard. Nothing else, Amo, the cleaners, none of that could ever satisfy you because you want to destroy. And it is something in there. There is that, as Simu put it, like there is a curse on Rudo, and it's just like, it's just like he is very destructive by nature, that he kind of had to rein that in. But as we see, like that ugliness, that darkness, whatever that is in bubbling underneath the surface is still there, just waiting to pop out. And that's what's driving him to want to like burn the spear to the ground. And so it's kind of putting things in perspective for Rudo. It's like, oh, do you really care about Amo? Is this really about her? Is that where your rage really lies? It's like, no, your rage is about the spirit and burning it and making them pay and making them suffer. Especially because it's like, right, the person who killed Recto, he wants to bring them in front of Recto's grave and make them suffer. Like, that's where your rage really is amplified. And so it's kind of like, it's like, yeah, you answer my question. I ask the question first. You answer my question, and then I answer yours. It's a conversation. That's how it works. And Rudo's not good at dealing with people, but he's like, there's something overbearing about Zoda, because he's like, Amo, there was like no like real conversating with her at first. She was so lost. But he's like, this guy, it feels like I'm caught in a flow of like, there's something like so like chaining about him. It's almost like I'm trapped by his words. They weigh so heavy. And I think it's because Zodo kind of like his stare, everything about him. It's like maybe that's why he's the boss, quote unquote, new boss of the Raiders, because he sees through people in a way that no one else can. And like, that's maybe there's something in him that resonates with Rudo, and he just can't quite describe it. The pull and tug, like this magnetic feel to him, maybe, I don't know. But that's where things lie at that point. Rudo also is like, he's got some trash on him, but not enough, because he hasn't been able to replenish himself after the showdown with was that from the fight with Amo, or was that before, like the trash beast before? Yeah, because I think that was like, whatever the case may be, he doesn't have enough trash on, but it's like, hey, if I need to, I can duke it out. So we didn't get that fight this episode. Both Santas, Bro Santa, Child Santa, didn't start their fight. Neither did the other member of Child. Engine didn't, because I love that he's like, just like, hey, like, you know, what's up? You know, what are you doing over there? And a person fighting him is like, oh my God, this guy's so awesome. He's so cool. It's like, oh, you're not the only one. You know, you're kind of like Zonka, because Zonka's a major, like, Engine stan, you know, so I'm interested to see what that is. And just once again, Engine's laissez-faire attitude, just being like, hey, like, come on, like, why you over there? I'm over here. Like, you ain't gonna say anything. It's like, with all this going on. So we have Rio fighting, and she even said her name in this episode, but she's the one with the comb for a vital instrument, and she's combing her hair. And I love that she calls out Rio, because she's like, oh, here you are, like, not taking this too seriously, because Rio's like, yo, is there anyone around? And then the moment she popped up, she's like, yo, immediately get into the shit talk. I see how it is. Okay, it's like, oh, did you guys really divide us up and take us to these arenas so you could pick us off one by one? And she's like, yes. She basically says, like, our boss basically gave us one order. While he's dealing with Rudo, it's up to us to defeat you. It's almost like we got to bring you guys back as trophies to be like, yo, look at what we did. So we'll see how many of the fights go. The cleaners. This definitely feels like, and I'm sure, like, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of anime and manga that kind of have this story beat, but it's my point of reference. It's like the Sasuke retrieval arc where, like that will always be my frame of reference. Not saying it's the only series that's ever done it, but like I said, like characters dividing up, and I've even thought about using that formula for like storytelling because I think it's a dope storytelling perspective of like, oh, you leave someone behind to beat the boss. I mean, in this case, everyone got split up by the bad guys, but still. But yeah, like the lady's just like talking about Rio not taking things seriously. I didn't love Rio's like, oh, I don't. She's like, honestly, I'm pretty good with bugs except for cockroaches. There's like there's just something there, which I'm like, I wonder is there something deeper there? Because this fight will probably lead to us learning more about Rio, and like I said, there's probably some pain and some trauma along with like whatever she saw because of the Amo thing. The conversation she had with Rudo about what your parents give you. It's like there's something there, probably tragic. I'm sure every cleaner has like a tragic backstory. But in that moment, Rio decides to kind of take the fight a little more serious. It's like, oh, I guess I got to change up the pacing, and ends up drawing out her scissors, and this woman keeps combing her hair, and it's like, oh, so with your vital instrument being what it is, got to be related to your hair. You scissors versus hair, bad matchup for you. And she goes in, and I was like, obviously this fight's not going to go her way. But I was like, is Rio going to be immediately knocked out? But no, we cut back to it. And Rio's like, yo, like, what happened? This pain I'm feeling. But she's like, no, it doesn't. She's like, why does it feel? And then in that moment, the woman explains, like, yo, my power is basically electricity. She's like, people who take care of their hair, like, rub it through, like, no, like, if you have a plastic comb and you build up electricity. And it's like, yeah, I guess because Rio maybe never takes care of her hair in that capacity, so maybe that's kind of why that's not known to her. But yeah, my vital instrument is a plastic comb, and it allows her to say like, yeah, my hair isn't, I forgot the word she used, but it was like, yeah, it's like crackly. It's her hair basically becomes lightning. So it's like, cool, the worst matchup for literal metal scissors. Things will probably be different if they were like obviously made out of different material, but it's like, cool, your metal scissors are going to conduct that electricity. So using them against her hair, which is like, she could probably just use it offensively and defensively and counter-wise. So it's like, gives her quite the powerful defense. So it's like now Rio is in the mixed match. And I'm wondering were these pairings made up on purpose or not? Or was it just like the unlucky draw that the cleaners got? Might end up being to their favorites in the long run, but we'll have to wait to see. At the very least, Zonka gets his rematch with Jabber, so they're duking it out and exchanging the blows. I even love Zonka's like, I didn't even have a second to really think about what questions I could be asking him about what they're up to, because he's like, the only thing that went through my mind the second I saw Jabber was kill or be killed, and they're just duking it out, exchanging blows. And then you have Zonka just be like, oh my god, no, Jabber being like, I'm so excited, like, I get to be beat up by you. Like, they got the halfway tussle because it was like, obviously, Rudo and Zonka versus him last time. Like, Zonka got blindsided by him, now he knows to keep away from that poison. But I thought it was an interesting reveal with Jabber's ability, his vital instrument. He keeps the neurotoxins always. He says, like, it's basically locked in on his right claw. I don't know if it's, like, supposed to be, like, his right claw forever is that, because it always has to exist in some kind of balance, your vital instrument, or whether he specifically keeps it locked because he doesn't want to accidentally get rid of the thing that neutralizes the toxin. But it's most likely like no, that's just the nature of what his claw is. But the left claw, he gets bored of playing the same thing over and over again. Kind of reminds me of like Nagumo from Sakamoto days. It's like, yeah, like I will be boring to kill you the same way over and over again. So every once in a while, he'll absorb a different toxin into his left gauntlet. So this time it's like this burning liquid. and he flings it at Zonka, and this ties into Rio being like, oh, you think I'm bad because of the whole like bug thing. There's another guy that flips out, with even the threat of poop being flown on him. It's like, yeah, we saw how he flipped out in episode 3. But I love what Zonka did. He just like lifted up the ground and used it to kind of capture the liquid, and it ends up burning like a little pool into the liquid. And he's like, hey, yo. And he's like, oh, you didn't bother dodging it because a little got on his face. He's like, dude, I am fine with taking it as long as nothing and no shit gets on my clothes. I'm perfectly fine with that. And it upheavals the whole thing and lands it on type of Jabber. And he's like, go ahead, get up. I know you're not dead. He's like, wait, did I beat the guy? I was like, there's no way. And then Jabber reveals himself. It seems like he has a next stage. So I'm like, okay. So he's at the next stage of his next level, rather, of his vital instrument. So of course there would be. It makes a lot of sense. That's kind of interesting. I wonder how many stages there are to every vital instrument. I wonder if we're kind of going like by Zanbakuto rules, and I've not seen where things go in like the final arc of Bleach, but my immediate thought is like, okay, there's the release state and then there's your Bankai. I don't think there's anything beyond Bankai. So, like I said, because from what it's been been over a decade since I watched like the Bleach anime, and I don't remember anything beyond Bankai. I think Bankai is the strongest, so I'm curious like how many levels there are to different people, and it probably like varies from vital instrument to vital instrument. I mean, Rudo's in a very interesting spot with how his vital instrument works, so maybe the levels for him is like how many like items he can push and how far he can push them might be like how the leveling system works for his. But I wonder how many of the cleaners have like a next level to theirs, and how many of the raiders do. We're seeing that with Jabber because we're familiar enough with his, but the others are new to us. So it's like, they might be a challenge on their own on their quote unquote release date. But what about, this is Jabber's quote unquote Bankai, but like, does he have power beyond that? Does Zonka have his quote unquote Bankai? So, and now Zonka's like, wait, this guy was a problem already, and he wasn't even going all out. He's like, come on, Zonka, my friend, like, you could go all out, right? Let's do it. So, like I said, we got 2 fights set up, still 3 more at play. The other person in the onesie from Child, we never saw their opponent. I wonder, will it be Manhole Dude? I'm sure, like, because I think there's still one more person in play, because it was like 5 in general. I don't think that includes, because I'm pretty sure it was like 5 manhole portals. So, yeah, so I don't think that included Manhole Kid, but maybe it did. And then maybe that's the person, like the onesie person goes up against them or someone else. Whatever the case may be. It's going to be interesting to see where the next episode takes us as we continue this clash in multiple ways of the actual fight, and also the clash of, I don't know, like perspectives and thoughts, whatever goes down between Zoto and Rudo. It's going to be interesting to see how that situation plays out and kind of what gets unearthed, and I guess almost like what Rudo's going to learn about himself in those moments and those conversations. We'll see. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.